It is so hard. No, my body is fine.
G'day everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now, in this video, we're talking about something, well, you probably would have seen the title and you think, silent killer, what is he talking about? What is this? We're actually going to be talking about something that I've been affected by, something that I'm pretty sure almost everyone has been affected by at some point in their journey, whether it is in business, at school, in life in general, and that's procrastination. Now, the battle of procrastination, the battle of overcoming procrastination and doing, something of value, being productive, it's a difficult one because there's so many different, little things that pull you back from your day-to-day tasks, that get you distracted, that, inhibit you from actually doing what you want to do. And those could be your phone, it could be, you've got you fill up your schedule with lots of small events and they distract you from, the big income producing activities, or could be anything really, all those little distractions. And procrastination isn't something that you can just overcome straight away, because if you're like me and you get, at the start I got distracted a lot, it's very hard for you to just, completely switch them all off, to say, I'm not going to get distracted at all, to cut all those influences. It's very, very hard, because going from someone that, would use their phone quite a bit to then going with, not using your phone at all, it's very tricky and very difficult. So I talk about him a lot, but Russell Brunson, in one of his podcasts, he was talking about how procrastination can actually be good, because he was talking about his schedule, how he's got lots of live events and he has to create presentations and slides for all those events and all those talks that he's giving. And he leaves it to the last minute, and it was like his live event, Funnel Hacking Live, it was like a few days before and he hadn't finished any of the presentations, he hadn't started, or he was just had some slides ready or something like that. And he said the reason why he did that, and he procrastinated to that point, or procrastinated in terms of not doing that task specifically, he procrastinated to that point because, Parkinson's law. The amount of time it actually takes to complete a task is basically how much time you were given to do it. So if you literally have to do something in an hour and a half, you will get it done in an hour and a half or just less. And the only reason you wouldn't get it done is because you have in the back of your mind that, hey, this doesn't actually need to be done in an hour and a half, it can be done later, trying to trick yourself, that kind of thing. But if you really have something that needs to be done in a day, you will get it done in a day. Because, for him, he had presentations that needed to be done. It was 6 hours before the presentation, and he still had to do the presentation notes, the slides, he had to do everything. And he got it done, and he gave the presentation, and it did well, because the amount of time you give a task, to complete that task, you're going to get it done in that time. So referring back to Tom Bilyeu, I talked about him in a past video, but he's got 3 steps that you can use to, cut procrastination, to eliminate it, to try your best to not, for procrastination not to affect your work. And his 3 steps: number 1, do things you actually care about. Number 2, define rules or what behaviors you allow yourself to do. And number 3, reward and punish yourself for breaking or following your rules. So we're gonna run through them briefly. Number 1, do things you actually care about. So you can think of all the times I can think of them where you procrastinate because you're doing something you don't want to be doing. It could be studying for a test, or doing an assignment that you just don't care about, or you just don't want to be doing. And the reason you end up procrastinating is because you don't want to be doing it. You get out your phone and you say, oh, I'll have a break, or you end up watching a few YouTube videos, or you do something else to take your mind away from the thing you don't want to be doing, which could be the schoolwork, it could be work itself, it could be anything really that's just you don't actually want to be doing. And that's the main cause for me, has been for the procrastination that I've experienced, is doing things I don't want to be doing. And that could be editing a video that has been so tedious and it's just taking forever to finish. And I really just don't want to be doing it. I'm just like, I just want this gone. And then you start procrastinating. You start going on YouTube, watching YouTube videos. You start going on Instagram, scrolling through. You start doing things that aren't contributing to you actually finishing the task, which is the thing you need to be doing. So the way to combat that is doing the opposite, and doing things that you really want to be doing. So if you have a passion, or if you have something, work that you really enjoy doing, something you really enjoy, do that, and you won't procrastinate as much. You'll find that when you do things you really enjoy doing, you won't procrastinate as much. So just in summary, number 1, do things you care about, because when you do things you care about, you are less likely to get distracted, you're less likely to procrastinate because you really enjoy doing that thing. Number 2, you've got to set rules, you've got to set boundaries for yourself that know when you're doing the right thing and when you're doing the wrong thing, because without boundaries, you don't know if you're being productive or if you're procrastinating, you just don't know. So set boundaries for yourself. So that could be, every day you want to work 30 minutes on a particular project. And if you didn't work 30 minutes on that particular project without getting distracted, then you failed or you didn't actually do it. And if you did, well, then you succeeded. And number 3, moving on to that, set rewards and punishments for those tasks, for those rules that you set for yourself. So if you set a rule, we're going to do 30 minutes of work on that project that you really want to be doing, something that you enjoy doing, then if you succeed and you do those 30 minutes, you give yourself a reward. You might, if you really enjoy going out and playing basketball with your friends, you go out and play with them. Or if you enjoy a certain Netflix series, you might say, well, if I do this 30 minutes of productive, focused work on this project I really care about, well then, I'm going to watch that next episode. And you also, in the opposite, you set, punishments if you don't actually do the things you should be doing. So if you end up working for 5 minutes and then you find yourself that you get distracted, well, you set a punishment for that. You say, well, I'm not allowed to use my phone for the next 2 hours, or I won't go and play basketball with my friends, or I won't watch that Netflix series for the next couple of days. You set punishments for yourself. You've got to be strict with them, because if you're not strict with them, nothing's going to happen. If you just say, oh, I didn't do my work, but I really want to watch that episode anyway, there's no point of that anyway, and you'll just end up going to be a not productive person, so it's not going to help. So those are the 3 things Tom Bilyeu states, and applying them to what I've done, they're really, really valuable. And I've struggled with procrastination a lot. And when I saw step number 1, doing something that you're genuinely interested in, it made so much sense, because I realized everything that I was doing, that I was procrastinating, while doing, was something that I wasn't interested in. So apply those 3 steps. Just one more time. I'm reading them off for you because I don't want to get the wording wrong. Number 1, do things you actually care about. Number 2, define rules, the behaviors that you monitor your progress on. Number 3, reward and punish yourself for breaking or succeeding at those rules. So, or breaking or following those rules. So, that's pretty much all it's going to be for this video in terms of procrastination. So hopefully you can apply some of those 3 steps, or apply those 3 steps, and you'll see much greater results in terms of your focus, your productivity, and the amount of time that you're procrastinating should decrease greatly. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.